why will P2B refuse to pay Kenneth Okonkwo's house rent? Like, why? Anyway, so what you're telling me now is that a full-grown man is unhappy with another full-grown man because that full-grown man refused to pay his house rent. Make it make sense to me. A full-grown man is unhappy with another full-grown man because that full-grown man refused to pay his house rent. It's sounding like, what's the best way to sound that? According to Carl Ononuju says that the reason why Kenneth Okonkwo is angry with P2B and has started talking about him in bad light is because P2B refused to rent a duplex for him. Now, not that he refused to pay his house rent. According to the report, Ononuju said Kenneth Okonkwo had approached P2B to help him to pay his house rent. Now, you are seeking for accommodation. You're not seeking for small house. You are seeking for duplex. Obi in his usual factor, he when get the money, does not even spend the money. Don't talk of you that he wants to dash. He now said, Kenneth, my brother, you know, when you are looking for assistance for house like this, you should start with a flat, not a duplex. Kenneth converse. Say why you be tell her making go find flat. That is according to Ononuju, this one that suits are flying up and down. So let me not go to that angle. Now, he now went to meet Atiku with the same request. Now, this time around, he didn't ask for duplex. He took the advice of P2B, he went to Atiku and asked for money for flats. Atiku, being a nice guy, when it comes to money, money is not the problem. Nigerian money is still with him, so he doesn't have a problem. He decided to pay the money for him. And boom, he tilted and said, this is my daddy, this is my Lord, this is my personal savior. And started working for Atiku. So my question is, all of you in Nollywood, what exactly are people doing in Nollywood that people will grow up, finish in Nollywood and start looking for money to pay for things as little as house rent? We have seen others who have to beg for food, who have to beg for money to buy medication. What is exactly happening in Nollywood? That's one question that people need to answer. Okay, you will say he's no longer acting. He has been living in bondage since he left since he finished acting, living in bondage.
Kenneth Okonkwo, I just googled your age and you're actually 63 years old. Peter will be 64 years old. And in his 64 years of age, he was former chairman Fidelity Bank. He's a two-term governor. I've looked at your history, and aside from acting living in bondage, which you're actually still living in bondage, I've not seen anything that you have done that warrants you to feel like, say, you don't come sabi politics past Peter Obi. If this politics is easier, the way you plan them or you map them out for your head, you suppose don't hold one political office for your own state. Maybe you be APC member before you contest for your state, for you don't even win primary. And then you have the nerve and the effrontery to talk against or talk at a former two-term sitting governor as if saying you're Peking. If you and Atiku don't do any deal, whether financial deal or whatever it is that he promised you that is making you want attack Peter Obi like this, why you not go give Atiku in balance? Go give Atiku in balance. Now 1 year Peter Obi to senior you, see the way they cry up and down for person will be almost your age mate. If you get that much political clout or political value, why you never go contest? Go collect chairmanship for your community. Who will see say yourself get level. You've never been a councillor, you've never been a chairman, you've never been a governor, you've never been a senator or House of Rep member, but you have so much to say about Peter Obi. You see the way you're almost crying in an interview. Because all my plan for ADC na Peter Obi na plan they built around to be vice to Atiku. Is Atiku more qualified than Peter Obi? If we're even talking about this politics. Has Atiku held any elective position in Nigeria before? Atiku was a former vice governor and he was former controller general of Nigerian Port Authority. Apart from those two positions, has Atiku ever been voted for to become a senator or a governor before? When you come and say the Atiku better pass Peter Obi, will make you the cry up and down like small pikin with the thief in ball. If this politics is easy, you say go contest now.
So since Peter Obi knock Kenneth Okonkwo 5 billion naira suit, Kenneth Okonkwo not dey talk again, no. Now I hear say he don't turn to 10 billion now because Achike Odenwa don't also knock him another 5 billion naira lawsuit, so it don't become 10 billion. Kenneth Okonkwo from looking for house rent to, you know, having all these lawsuits all over his head. For an actor who does not work again because of politics, then the big challenge for him. I'm sure say Atiku go tell her say, Malam, go solve your problem. Don't leave and make you go solve your own problem. Now I know if you talk again. You know, before you come out to make allegation against people, know that if you don't get impeccable evidence, now jail you take the place. So, and Kenneth Okonkwo, I know say Peter Obi no need your money because you be small boy. So what you need to do now? Solution: constitute a panel, a team, go beg Peter Obi, beg Achike they want me they forgive you.
To the person who specifically asked for my opinion on Kenneth Okonkwo versus Mr. Peter Obi, here is what I think. It feels like Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo left Nollywood because financially it wasn't sustaining him anymore. From there, he joined politics and he aligned himself with Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi, who is widely known for not giving shishi. But I don't think Kenneth Okonkwo joined Mr. Peter Obi because of his ideologies. It feels like he joined because of Mr. Peter Obi's political momentum. You know, when it seemed like victory was sure, when the obedient wave was at its strongest and a lot of people were aligning themselves with, you know, what looked like an incoming structure. I feel like, you know, this is what happened with Kenneth Okonkwo. And he believed that, you know, if this movement succeeds, there will be, you know, recognition, relevance, and return of political investment. So he spoke passionately against Atiku and others in support of Mr. Peter Obi. But unfortunately, Peter Obi lost the 2023 elections. And I feel like somewhere between financial pressure and unmet expectations or disappointed expectations, Kenneth Okonkwo has now transformed from Obi's loudest supporter to Obi's loudest critic. You know, the same passion he deployed when he was defending Obi, you know, is now being used to speak against Peter Obi, you know. And the same Atiku that he attacked and spoke down on is now the politician he is more comfortable speaking good of. I think it's actually a good thing that Kenneth Okonkwo is no longer in Peter Obi's camp, because any movement that intends to fight corruption and restructure politics should not be filled with people whose loyalty depends on personal gains. Because that's exactly how corruption thrives. It does not just thrive through politicians alone. It also thrives through supporters who enter reform movements with transactional expectations.
I would like to say this. You know, there is a popular adage that says, he who the gods want to destroy, he first make them the mad first, so that the road to destruction go easy. Now, whatever you see Kenneth Okonkwo doing right now, no be joke. I can bet you that first, at this point, I'm beginning to believe, say those small juju where Kenneth Okonkwo they do for film, all those their court matter, they don't they use and they run on streets. So today, Kenneth Okonkwo, he has been convinced wrongly. Number two, the same juju where they use for film, I believe say now they don't they use for ram. Number three, Kenneth Okonkwo, I swear, you don't collect smart, you be mugu. Kenneth Okonkwo, you don't collect smarty. You don't collect smarty. Tag Atiku. Let Atiku come and see what Kenneth Okonkwo believe. Say be. And let me tell you guys, and I'll do this quickly and then we'll be done with this video. If anybody at this point is still feeling or you think, say, His Excellency, the Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar. This is, in all honesty, this is my thought, this is my prediction, the permutation and reading in between the lines, right? I can bet you that Atiku Abubakar is not running to win. Because he knows clearly, deep down in him, that the zoning arrangement, even though it's not constitutional, it just makes sense. That leadership, whether you like it or not, for now, we must north and south. Atiku know clearly, say it is the time of the south. So whatever Atiku is doing now is negotiation. They have negotiated it already. Destabilize the election, Atiku Abubakar. Let President Bola Ahmed Tinubu win the election in 2031 when the power goes back to the north, then, you have a better chance. By then, Atiku will be 84 years of age. Whether na football age, I don't know. But it will be 84 years of age. So it only makes sense that a man, when get this quest to want to lead by all means, even though we don't understand why it must be like a do or die affair. But he wants it by all means. Maybe to prove Obasanjo wrong, say, oh, you cannot say this about me, and he go stand. So for Atiku, it is safe for him to, let's just do 4 years. After 4 years, he come north, I collect him at 84. Because he knows clearly that if he does not play game on the side when he feels say he go dey safer with those people, if he want to do say, oh, he won't go into the context, fool, he will lose both way. He go lose on the side of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course on the side of Peter Obi, say no level. Because if Peter Obi do in 4 years complete the turn of the South, Atiku will be 84. By the time Peter Obi leaves, power goes back to the north. Of course, if Atiku not the Peter Obi camp, which he will never be, because we don't want him. If Okonkwo so takes over, do 8 years, Atiku at that time will be 92 years old. Power will leave the north and come back to the south. South go do another 8 years. Atiku will be 100 years when power is going back to the north.
Now, the question now is, where will Kenneth Okonkwo get 10 billion naira to pay Atiku Denwa and Peter Obi? Where's he going to get the money? Now, chances that he's going to pay the money is very slim. But what can he do? He can tender a public apology to both of them differently. He can retract statements he made on national television if they are false. Now, I use the word if they are false because if he tenders public apology and retracts statements he made on national television, it simply means that he made false accusations against Peter Obi and Atiku Denwa. And that would hamper his chances of becoming either the ADC spokesperson or Atiku's campaign spokesperson in the future, because that's what he's gone in for. But that's what he needs to do. He needs to tender an apology and retract statements he made against these two giants if he doesn't want to be sued. But now, another part of this whole thing is that Kenneth Okonkwo might not be able to bring down his shoulders, which simply means chances that he's going to apologize is very slim. Chances that he's going to retract statements he made on national television against them is also very slim. He might be willing to have his time in court. And just like Peter Obi did to Deji, Peter Obi might decide to sue Kenneth Okonkwo in Anambra State. And then Atiku Denwa might decide to sue Kenneth Okonkwo in Imo State. So that means Kenneth Okonkwo will be traveling to Anambra State and Imo State to pursue his case. So you see that even with the stress, it's going to be tedious for him to manage, because that's what they are planning to do to him, basically. That's what Peter Obi did to Deji. He filed a lawsuit against Deji in Anambra State. And since then, we can tell that Deji have been quiet. The guy have been talking, but with so much filter. So perhaps if Kenneth Okonkwo should apologize and retract his statements, they might not trouble him for the 5 billion naira that they added in their notice. What do you think? He needs to start somewhere. But if truly he has enough evidence, I think he should stand his ground. That's what I think. Or are you seeing things different?
Hi, welcome back. This is another time we have waited to talk about Kenneth, because we want everyone to really know who Kenneth is. And the one we have told you before is not enough. We are still here to add to what we have told you about Kenneth, because we still have enough evidence about Kenneth. Though evidently speaking, Kenneth Okonkwo now, what you should now do is this. The first thing I should tell him is beg That is one thing I want him to start doing now. And my second point to Kenneth, and what I want you guys to know about what he has done, is this. Kenneth Okonkwo, according to what a lady said, yeah, because the lady really bust my head about what he said on this Kenneth matter, and I learned a lot from the lady. The lady says that the reason why Kenneth was waking or shouting when Obi was having momentum in 2023 was that Kenneth was even thinking, because he is doing his own thing with plan B. He was thinking that with the kind of momentum Obi had in 2023, he was going to defeat this man called Tinubu, not knowing that there will be something like rigging then. That is why he was doing all of this thing. But now that he has known it didn't work for him, he has to change his location to Atiku, because everybody knows who Atiku is, or whom Atiku is. Atiku is someone, even without him winning anything, he can spend anything on you without his account going down, because what he's usually sending to people is not what belongs to him, it's what our own father suffered for, that he has stolen. Though outside that article on first, let me just talk about some people who are doing acting works, because it has come to a point that those actor and actress who are still doing acting job today need to answer us some things, because Ogala and Kenneth Okonkwo are really spoiling their name, and they have not called them to order. We understand the fact that they're not actor and actress anymore, but with the way these people are going, they are really spoiling those of you who are doing a cringe job name. Because I've seen someone here too who has said that it is the actor, or it is what Kenneth has acted before, that is making him to misbehave like this, because he has acted living in bondage before. He has acted different movies before. Maybe that is what is really affecting him. We don't know. And a lot of actors and actresses need to call this guy to ask him what is really the problem. Because if he knows the shame and the name he's bringing to the people who are still doing acting work today, he won't be saying those things he is doing. It doesn't make sense seeing a professional actor acting movie in the studio. See, you know how life is. What God has not given you, or what God has not added to your life, if you force yourself into it, the only thing it will bring to you is backwardness. You will never go forward in all of that. So my advice for this Kenneth, not that I am underrating him, because him himself that is hating on Peter Obi just because he hasn't been given house rent. Obi just use a year to be ahead of him when it come to age. He has a lot to do. If he go back to that his acting work, I think maybe God may show him love, or give him whatever thing he wants. That is just it. And you, whatever thing you want to tell us about this guy, can let us know, because at this point, I'm not taking him serious. That is just it.